Hey everybody, I'm Monty Mott,
And I'm Tiff.
And I'm Doda
and these.
Are a few.
of our favorite
Sing.
Nice, not bad. You could have been a little louder, though, but I'm gonna let that slide. Okay, guys, we are in the building once again. God is good. It's a blessing to be here. We're a little under the weather. Some of us, we working through some things, but we still out here. We still out here doing
We
what it
out here.
do. First things first. Tiff, how you doing?
I'm doing. I'm doing great.
Been a lot, man. Been a lot going
Yeah.
on. We know, but
How are you?
I'm good, man. I've been running, man. I'm getting
Yeah,
old.
you have.
Boy, it's like the weeks just start running together, and you like, my goodness. But see,
You've been booked and busy.
yes. See, that's what we got. We got some young blood on the show today. We got a young one of the young peoples joining us now, guys. Maybe have heard me say this name sometimes on both my podcasts. This person is a big part of the Mighty Shop Network. She is our lead editor. So whenever you see the intro and the music and the blah 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 and the cuts, sometimes we make mistakes. We cut all that. She has to clean all that for me. I took her in as a young pup and washed her off and cleaned her up and got her life together, and she's on the right track now. But Doda is in the building. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. Is this your first time on any of the shows? Have you?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so that's cool.
On this part, can you insert applause like when he introduced you? Put some applause right there.
Instant applause for your own right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, here's the thing. Because things have been going so fast, I kind of missed this. We're supposed to be on this, and we were not. We haven't done a movie show in a while. We're going to do a movie show. And crazily, this is a musical, which means anytime a major musical comes out, we probably should cover it. And I wasn't really thinking about it. Doda did ask me, had I seen this movie? She asked me a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, no, I ain't trying to see that. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, maybe I should, since I'm supposed to have a musical take on things. It totally went over my head.
Yeah.
Now, Tiff, you said you hadn't heard of this before.
I did not. Yeah, and yeah, because I think it's because we've been dibbing and dabbling in some other, conversations and topics. We kind of veered off a little bit, but we're right back to, what it is that we do. And you're right. Until you mentioned it, I didn't know anything about it. I'm like, I really felt crazy too. Like I must have been under a rock somewhere, clearly.
Well, y'all was wearing these crazy bonnets in the streets, and we had to address that. That's why we missed it. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
okay.
That was priority.
Yeah, we had to make a show.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Dodo, why did you want to see this? You seem very excited about this. What are you? Is it you love musicals? You like Lin Manuel Miranda, or you just thought it was going to be hype?
I wasn't really a fan of musicals until I seen Hamilton, and then I was like, okay, this is actually not that bad. So Anthony Ramos, or Ramos, however you want to say his last name, he was actually in Hamilton. So I think that's why it was on my recommended, because I was already watching, Hamilton stuff on YouTube, whatever. So he actually played in that movie. And then I also like Lin Manuel Miranda. He's really good. He does a lot of the soundtracks for a lot of movies. Like he did the soundtrack for Moana, and that was really good. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to watch it.
Lin Manuel, from a musical perspective, is very gifted, really good writer, and he's been on the scene. Now, this was a play originally, of course. It was a play that he wrote, and it was adapted for the movie. And so, and he wrote this play before he did Hamilton, and it just kind of worked out the way things worked out. So
You did this one before.
Yeah, this one was before Hamilton. He had this.
Okay.
This has been way, way back. And what happened was Hamilton blew up, and there was kind of a bidding war between the studios to even. I don't want to throw out crazy numbers, but I think it was 30 million just for the rights to get In the Heights.
Really?
And of course, because Hamilton, they printed money for years off of that, so he was like a hot commodity, still is. But and so then with COVID and things, this is supposed to be a 2020 movie, and it got pushed back and all that. And so this was kind of one of the first welcome back everybody to the movies and big production things. And the way they're doing things now with certain studios, it went to some theaters and it went also immediately to streaming on HBO. So, and if you haven't seen it yet, you want to check it out, it's still on there now. So, quick synopsis. You know what? Maybe Doda, you should give a synopsis because I'm gonna just read it, but maybe you should tell us a few things about the plot of In the Heights.
Okay. Well, it's kind of surrounding the Hispanic Latino, world in New York, and it is about Usnavi, which his name is interesting how it came about. But yeah, it's about him and basically him wanting to get out of where he was at Washington Heights. He wanted to get out of there, and it adds in, of course, like, the love story. He likes somebody, and it has that Aryan aspect. And then some other main characters within that as well. They're just all trying to get out of Washington Heights and, become better, whether it's academically or business wise. They just want to, that's basically what it's about.
Everybody has a dream. What is it? Little dream, small dream, and they want to get out of where they are to go, fulfill their dream.
Yeah, it's very much akin to a lot of people. Now, New York, of course, is not a small town, but you hear that a lot from small town people. Like, I gotta get out, I gotta try somewhere else. Now, this specifically is Dominican based, and we're gonna get into that too because there's some controversy with that, and we're gonna.
Oh, I was waiting for it. I was getting ready to bring it up.
We're gonna get in that. We ain't getting that yet, but we're gonna get in that. And so the thing is. So yeah, Usnavi, and then now I won't mess it up because the thing is, wasn't it Nina that left college, or Vanessa? I mixed them up now.
No, it was Nina.
Nina was at Stanford in California, and she kind of wants to she's like, I don't fit in, I want to come back. But like you said, everybody else is trying to get out, so to speak. Usnavi wants to go back to the Dominican, run his father's business and all that, and it's just a big kind of push for that. Like they're all trying, and it's Washington. I'm sorry. First, I should say it's Washington Heights. Now, there's a lot of regionality in that. It's a lot of pride in New York, and Washington Heights is a neighborhood of Manhattan. And for those that don't know New York well, you got Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, all these boroughs and all that. So there's a lot of pride with that, a lot of Dominican pride in it as well. And so there's songs throughout. Lin Manuel's style is, like in the Sound of the Music, they'll just sing a song and it's a beautiful song. It's pertaining to something, but it's not necessarily pushing along the plot or the narrative. Now, Lin, the songs are pushing along the narrative, like they're conversing in song and they're kind of going back and forth. So you really got to pay attention to that. So let me ask you this. So for me personally, I had a little trouble keeping up with everything that was going on. Now, maybe I'm old, maybe I wasn't paying attention good. Did anybody else have that problem?
I did not.
Okay, so I'm old. That's fine. It's just because I was, again, I was listening to the songs and I was kind of grooving. I was like, okay, that's a nice song. Then I was like, wait a minute, okay, what's happening? Okay, and so, okay, that, and again, that's his style. And I'm saving some things that I want to say because I'm trying to get the rest of out. First, let's hit the cast as well. Like you said, Anthony Ramos is Usnavi. Corey Hawkins plays Benny. Corey Hawkins is a really good actor. Of course, a lot of you know him mainstream. He was
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, of course, and Straight Outta Compton. Leslie Grace is Nina. Melissa Barrera is Vanessa. Jimmy Smith is a great actor. If you really old, you know him from NYPD Blue. days and all of that. A couple others, Olga Meredith, and there's some people that actually reprise their roles from the play and things like that. And Lin Manuel has a small part that he plays in it himself. So on a very big cast. So
Mark Anthony.
yeah, oh yes, right, Mark
Mark
Anthony,
Anthony.
and he's actually playing a part that is just for the movie. I looked
Yes.
that up. It's not in the play.
Oh, okay.
He's actually good. He's been in a couple things because he was in a movie called Man on Fire with Denzel Washington.
Yes.
He was very good in that as well. So yeah. So now let's see. Now, unfortunately, if I was better at my job, I would have tried to find a person to discuss this because none of us this really hits us. But we got to talk about it. There's controversy about the movie, and the reason there's controversy is because the Afro-Latino community or the Latinx community was upset because there was not enough representation of Afro-Latinos in the movie. And when I say Afro-Latinos, for those who don't know, that is the Latin, there are Latin people who have deeper African roots. And a lot of them look darker. If you understand, there's people in even Central and South America that have darker complexions, as dark as Afro-Americans, do, but they are Latino, but that's because they have roots. And they felt that, and of course, Bent, he knows about it. He's
so sorry.
He knows all about that. Bent the dog. And so I'm going to ask you guys now, okay, Doda, did you see this before the controversy?
Yes.
Okay, so good. Now, did you notice that when you watched the movie? Did you notice anything about that? Like, did it stand out?
Not initially, but when the issue was like talked about, I definitely kind of saw it. Yeah, so I didn't really notice it at first until people started like talking about it.
Yeah, see, I watched it afterwards, so my eyes were totally open and I could see, because to represent, if you're gonna really go hard for Washington Heights, they're like, well, y'all need to show all of Washington Heights, and there's a lot of people representative that are darker Latinos in Washington Heights area. I've never been to Washington Heights. I've been to New York, but not that part of town, but still. And so I could get what they were saying. And so Tiff, you of course just watched it recently too. Did you get it? Did you see where they were coming from?
Absolutely. So now initially, like you, it wasn't anything that I was like looking for, right? But as I was watching the movie, I was researching at the same time. So I was trying to do both. I was reading up, on what was being said about the movie, and then I was also watching it. So when I came across that, initially I wasn't watching like, oh my goodness, this is colorism taking place. Like I didn't say that. But as I was reading it and I did come across, the controversy, I'm paying attention. I'm like, well, I get their point. I can see where they're coming from. Definitely.
Yeah. And again, we in this type of conversation specifically aren't qualified because none of us are Latin per se.
Yeah.
But it would basically be now, well, and then Doda, you are mixed race. And so you kind of can talk about just the fact of, things you've been through and representation and all that. And for Black people, it's a funny thing. Now, I know I'm gonna date myself here. There was a movie called School Days by Spike Lee. And School Days had a huge thing in the movie about light-skinned Blacks versus dark-skinned Blacks. And so this conversation with the Latinx community really opened my eyes because I didn't really know of the conflict like that.
Really?
I really didn't know, but apparently that same stuff goes on in the Latin community. And Doda, being mixed people get, get it too. It's just, it's so much, and it's just so ridiculous at some points,
I've been kind of vocal about colorism too within our own community. I have dealt with colorism actually. One of my main things is, and it's my pet peeve, and I've heard it since a child growing up. And it wasn't until, I started to kind of take up for myself and say, listen, that's not really a compliment. When people say, Tiffany, you're really pretty to be a dark-skinned girl. And that was something that I've dealt with like as a child. And growing up, I'm like, well, I'm just pretty then, right? Like, why do I have to be pretty to be dark, you know? And so that's some things that I dealt with growing up. And so I've always been kind of vocal about that, but I did not realize that it was such a big deal also in the Latin community too. But that definitely is huge within our culture.
And Doda, can you speak to your experience, especially with your family and being mixed race and dealing with that stigma?
Yeah, it's like it's two sides because a lot of people, because I'm black and white, just to put it plainly, there's a lot in there, but so people like to say, oh, that's the white side in you, oh, I see the black side in you, and they push that on you. But then some people like to say, well, no, you're not white, you're just black. So I'm not able to embrace that other side because, oh, I'm just black. People push that on me all the time. And also with the colorism thing, because people say that I'm just black, now it's, oh, but you're light skinned, so you think that you're better than the dark skins. And it's like, but that's not my mindset. So it kind of sucks because I mean, you can speak your heart and you can like say, no, that's not, how I feel. But because it's so prevalent in today, like people already assume that.
Yeah, and it is there's times when like the wokeness kind of is too much for me, but then there's other times when it's good, and this is a time when it's good. And so the whole stigma behind the movie then is just like, why didn't y'all put Latinx? Because I didn't see very many at all. And it's like, do you not think darker skinned Latinos are beautiful? Like they're not. I'm sure there are plenty of actors out there. I'm sure there's.
Where does it stem from? Yeah, where does it come from?
Where does that come from? And then there was a whole extra layer because if I'm getting I believe Lin Manuel himself is Puerto Rican, and I think he's Puerto Rican and Mexican. But this movie is really a Dominican-based community movie. And so there's a whole thing now that I kind of don't agree with where, oh, you Puerto Rican, how you trying to speak for Dominicans and things like that. And it gets back to, should one nationality be playing? Like, should Marlon Brando be playing the Godfather if he's not Italian? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, actors act. That guy's not a real cop. Denzel was not a cop in Training Day. He's playing a cop. I feel like that goes a little bit over the line, but some people are very passionate about that and representation. And I remember even, oh Lord, Nina Simone. Who played Nina Simone? Remember, it was a big deal.
Oh gosh, Tiffany.
And she's in Avatar, and she's in come on, Doda, you know this. What's her name? Lord Jesus.
I know. Let's see.
Zoe Saldana.
Oh yes.
Zoe Saldana played Nina Simone, and people were up in arms about that as well. And that again, of course, she did didn't she darken her skin? I think
so.
Yeah. See, okay, real quick. I don't know if I'm with that because if she's got to darken her skin, I don't know if I can rock with that. Like, just get a dark skinned actress.
That's okay. That's what I was gonna say. So now my issue, because I get it. Like, listen, if it's not a real person, then let whoever can play them. It doesn't matter to me. Now, if you are bringing an actual person to life on screen, right? I think that it should be as close to that actual person as possible. Right. So if you have to get an actress to darken her skin to look like this person, just get a talented, darker skin actress. And so I agree with you on that one. It's like, yeah.
And in like Miranda's defense, like he likes to pick, actors for his movies that are like, he knows them personally or he's worked with them before. Like you'll notice that in the movies that he's in. You'll notice that the people, because I watched an interview that he did with all of the stars of the movie, and like he was just talking about like the background that he has with all of them. So I think that that's kind of where he was going. But like you guys said, he could have definitely chosen somebody that obviously was of a darker complexion. But on top of that, if he doesn't think that he could find anybody that could fit the part, it's like, why don't you take your time to train somebody to do that so that people can, accept your movie more?
Yeah, but what I do like is after reading it, he seemed to be very receptive of the feedback, right? He apologized and admitted that they maybe dropped the ball as far as not representing that culture as a whole, was kind of one-sided. So he did admit it to dropping the ball, and he was very receptive to that, and he apologized for it. So,
And I honestly, and I'm going to take his defense a bit too, because
mhm.
I don't really think that came from a malicious
No,
point of him.
no,
Because if you watch Hamilton, Hamilton is a very diverse cast.
yes,
And now we were just saying this, but there were black people playing people who were not black in Hamilton,
yes,
mixed
yes,
people, and he made a point of that. So, and I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna get back to Hamilton in a minute. So, I really think maybe he just did not know or wasn't really, you
conscious
know,
or
conscious
thinking
of it,
about,
because
yeah,
it's not, that's not who he really is. I don't think, or I don't know, or maybe somebody went over his head. There's times when it's your idea, but the studio gets say, I don't know, but I'm sure from this point on that you'll see much better representation, and
right,
even Anthony Ramos said it's a good conversation for us to have. You know what I mean? I think it was good that we've been talking about this now.
yeah.
So okay, so let's move on to the movie itself. Now let's let's just give it, let's hit this, because let's hit this right quick. How did you enjoy the movie? Period. Just how much did you like it? Out of 5 popcorn boxes, 0 to 5, what would you give it? Tip.
Okay. I actually would give it a 4. I enjoyed it a lot. I really liked it. It was very like creative and colorful and vibrant. Like I really, really liked. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of the singing, the dancing, everything about it. I liked, and the director too. He's known for kind of that those colorful, kind of creative, vibrant things. He also directed. I don't know if you're familiar with Crazy Rich Asians,
Yes, yeah,
which
I haven't
was
seen that yet. I got to see that.
that's a movie I actually enjoyed. I like that movie as well. So you can, I don't know, you can kind of pick up, his vibe, with the cultures and the colors and things like that. And so I liked it a lot.
Okay, Doda, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say a 4, 4.5. The movie was really good. The songs were great, very catchy. I think the reason why I wouldn't give it a 5 is because Lin Manuel, the way he does his songs are kind of the same. Like he does it in a rapish type of tone, which I mean I like it, but I wish he would kind of switch it up every now and then for different movies.
Because we've
But
seen that with Hamilton now, huh?
yeah, exactly. Because it kind of sounded the same when he started off. I was like, wait, this sounds like Hamilton. But it was actually really good. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Monty,
What is
I knew it. Doda, I knew that this was gonna happen. I
Yeah.
knew it.
what?
Listen, okay, y'all. Here's what you gotta understand.
I knew it.
I'm not a big musical guy. I'm not big on. I like a few musicals and I go hard for them. We already have done Sound of Music. We did Hamilton on this show, but see, these are the kind of musicals that I'm not. Here's the thing. Here's why I loved Hamilton.
Okay.
I love the style, but here's the thing as well. I learned so much throughout because they were like rapping, but it was facts. I was like, oh man, okay, I didn't know he was doing that. It was very educational. This was just a story. Not that it was a bad story, but it was just at some point like, okay, great. Y'all want to get out? Like it just was not really speaking to me in any way at all. Very colorful. I did like the cinematography of it, but kind of like you said, Doda, it got very repetitive for me, and it was just kind of like, okay, we're just kind of doing this, and and it's not. I wish, and look, Lynn, do your thing, bro, because you done made a whole lot of money doing your thing. Don't listen to me, but I wish there were some different kind of numbers instead of his just style. So I just kind of was like, oh, okay, if you love musicals, I'm sure you will love this one, but this is just kind of like, all right, it's fine, you know what I mean? And I was bit. Yeah, because let me ask you guys: Did a particular song stand out to you when you?
Yes.
Which one did you like?
2 of them I like. Benny's Dispatch, which is him. He was in the station, and then Nina came in there. I love that song. And then 96,000. That's also a really good song.
Yeah. 96,000 I did like. Yes. Yes.
See, I was all right with 96,000. I did like I liked the opening song. I did like Benny's Dispatch. The 96,000 was. It was fine. I don't know. Like the Hamilton ones were just, I loved so many of them, and this one was just like, it was fine. I'm not okay. I'll say three. I'll say
I
three.
was just gonna say you can't say it's fine and you're still giving it a 2,
Okay,
Monty.
three.
Like,
Three is
Yeah,
three
like come on.
popcorns. I'm giving three
Yeah.
popcorns. Okay, because
Okay.
again, it's I can respect all that songwriting. That's a lot of songwriting.
Yeah, definitely.
Putting it together. I respect the hustle. I really do. This one just didn't really just grab me. But okay, all right. So y'all are ready? Okay. Now let me ask you this. Who was your favorite actor in the movie? Do you have a favorite actor in the movie? And I'll go first for me. I honestly I enjoy Anthony Ramos. I seen him in something else too, because I'm trying to bring up his IMDb real quick. He was in something else. He's a very good actor. I've seen him in something.
She's Gotta Have It. Have you seen that? Man of Fire, I think maybe is the name of that one.
I think it was okay, Hamilton, honest. Oh no, he was in A Star Is Born. That's where I saw him. That's
Okay.
another one we gotta do. That was a very good movie.
Yeah.
Star Is Born.
I've never seen that.
That is really good.
That's with Gaga, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's with with Gaga and Bradley Cooper. But
Okay.
I liked Abuela. I thought she was really good. The older lady. She was
love
so
Abuela.
sweet. I loved Abuela. I was so sad. Well, I don't want to spoil it. I won't spoil it. But yes, I loved Abuela. And I mean, everybody was good. It wasn't like I didn't like anybody. I love Jimmy Smith, the dad. I loved him, and everybody was good. But I really liked Abuela. Yeah, okay. Any favorite actors you guys had?
Okay, for me, Anthony Ramos for sure. And I remember him, or I first kind of took notice from him from watching She's All That. I mean, not She's All That. She's Gotta Have It. Sorry. That's where and then of course Hamilton or whatever. So I think he's just been doing really good. So I like him, and also Kuka was her name, but Dasha, I think Dasha
Yeah.
Polanco, okay, Orange is the New Black. I really liked her, and of course Abuela. I liked.
I like Abuela.
Yeah.
I really liked the girl who played Nina. Don't know her real name, but yeah, I really enjoyed her because I know she's in something else, but I've never seen her like in any other movies personally. But the way she played her role was really good, and her voice is amazing. So
yes, and now that was my question, and I didn't do enough research. Was everybody really singing? You think?
I'm not
think
sure,
so.
but I think
Corey
so,
Hawkins sing? I didn't know he could sing. Can he sing? I mean, I guess in my trivia, I'm looking through my trivia. I didn't really see anything about maybe they could.
You know what? I didn't research that either. That's a really good question, Monty. But I want to say yes. It looked. I mean, it's a musical, and usually they do sing their part, their own parts in the musical. So I want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. See, the thing with Hamilton, I keep going back to Hamilton, but they filmed Hamilton as the play, so they really up there singing this because it's the real thing.
Yeah.
You ain't dubbing it on a play, so that's
Yeah.
how you knew that was authentic. This is a movie. So if they had to, they could get some things right and all that. But if that was her, yes, she was a really good, singer. But I think though too, just with and I'm sure for all the controversy, I'm sure the Latin community, though, I'm sure I hope they appreciated the effort because it very much is a proud movie. It was very much.
Yes.
Big on the heritage, and even it starts out where he's talking to a younger generation of kids and telling them a story, and it goes to the flashback and all of that. So I with controversy aside, I think they did a pretty good job with that as well. So and I'm checking real quick too in the box office how it's doing because now here's the thing about it. It was a little disappointing, I think, in the performance. Because, like I said, they put a lot of money into this, and there was a bidding war for it as well. And I want to say 30 million just for the rights. So you put in 30 million in, and then to make it, and then they had to wait all that time. Yeah, see, so it's hard. I'm about to give some numbers, but it's hard to tell because some theaters is back, some are not. It's only done 24 million. Domestically, worldwide, it's at 30 million. So it looks like I think they're still in the hole a bit, but probably once it gets back on the streaming and Netflix or somebody else picks it up, it'll probably be doing better. But they yeah. So far in the opening weekend was 11 million, which again we can't tell if that's really good or not
I
because
know.
we don't know what people are doing out here in these streets yet. So yeah, we'll look to see more. I'm sure Lynn's got some more stuff he's going to work on, some things he's coming out with. But any closing thoughts on In the Heights?
Mm. Well, I want to say, Doda, this was a really great suggestion. Again, I didn't know anything about it. I'm glad that you suggested it because I really liked it a lot. Um, great actors. Love the culture, love the colors, love um, how vibrant everything was. So overall, again, it's a four for me, and I enjoyed it. I would actually watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah, two things. First thing, I was actually kind of upset at the fact that the whole movie was surrounding them getting out and then they didn't get out.
I
Sorry,
know.
spoiler
Oh,
for you
wait.
guys.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I was like, wait, I thought you know,
But I
so I was
kind of
actually
like
a little good
that.
for you.
Yeah,
But
and that was the part I liked. You didn't like that part?
no, I just felt like the whole movie you guys pushed. Yeah, we're getting out, and then you stayed.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
hey,
was the part I loved, Doda. I think that you're right. Yeah, because that's all they talked about was this dream and getting out of there, getting out of there. I was so happy to find out that they didn't leave. Like I actually loved that part. I was like, oh, good, you didn't go anywhere. The reason being is that it was such a tight knit community, right? And it was kind of like a family there, and it was it gave me the message that I don't necessarily have to leave to go to, to the DR, wherever, to, fulfill this dream of mine. I can do it right here in the community where, I've been, and where, where my family is, so to speak. Like they talk about Abuela, that was nobody's real grandmother, right? In the movie. But she was everybody's grandmother in the movie. So it was such a tight knit community. So I love the fact that they didn't go anywhere. I was like, yeah, good, stay. We need to go to DR for.
Well, it was weird. That was my thing throughout the whole movie because I'm like, y'all in New York City.
Yeah.
Usually people try to get out of where they are to get to New York or to get to LA. I'm like, fam, just you in Manhattan, go make it happen. What y'all, that was a little weird to me. But also one little nitpick as well. I think maybe y'all agree with me. I don't know. 2 hours and 23 minutes, a little long.
It was a little long.
It was long. They could have trimmed some. Lynn, you could cut some of them lyrics out a little long, but I think a musical, man, you give me about an hour and 45 and I'm good.
Yeah.
That was a little long, but
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it just a little bit. Not just a nitpick, but we love y'all still. Okay, real quick, let me give you Woo. Okay, so here's the numbers. Wow.
Uh-oh.
This actually, so they've made 30 million so far, but the budget was 55 million.
Oh, so yeah, they're coming up short.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're putting it on HBO Max and in theaters, because people who already have a subscription to HBO Max can just watch it for free at that point.
Yeah.
And then they're going to, if you see at the bottom, it says like they're taking it off around July something. And so then it's just going to be in theaters for people to watch. But at that point, it's like, we've already watched it. So it's kind of too late. And they did the same thing with like Wonder Woman 84. They had it on HBO Max for a minute and then they like took it off and for it to be in theaters and then brought it back on. I was like, what is, you guys are not thinking.
Well, see, and that's a lot of these studios are trying to figure out what to do. Some of them are like, it's going to go straight to streaming. Some of them are like, we'll split it. Some of them are like, it's going. Now you're seeing like some of these movies, it's only in theaters, y'all. So don't wait for the streaming, go to the theater. And they all got different deals. Child, look here. Let me tell y'all some more.
What is it?
It was 50 million to get the rights to the movie.
What?
So dig this. 50 million just to get the rights, and then 55 million to make it. That's $105 million. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they're gonna have to do a whole lot of singing and dancing for that one.
I mean.
I mean that much.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Hopefully once, I mean, but Doda has a great point. Like, who's gonna, if you already have the subscription, you're not gonna want to go see it. But I wish them well. I hope that they do. And Monty, you and I definitely want to go to the movies.
Yo, listen.
We
Hey,
want them to go to the movies.
it's been a long, long time, and
Yeah.
yes, very much so.
Yeah,
So yeah, I didn't know that. That was a lot, but
that is a lot.
yeah, man.
That is definitely a
Because
lot.
it seems like it's a very enclosed kind. I mean, they did locations, but it's kind of that's a lot. I don't know. That's a lot of production. But anyway,
Go
well,
to the movies,
guys,
y'all, and go to AMC specifically.
yeah.
That's what I mean. We want y'all to go to the movies. Yeah,
Hey,
we
hey,
want y'all
hey,
to go to the movies.
hit AMC up and all.
Go to the AMC theater.
Yeah, because I need some new shoes. But
Yeah.
anyway, guys, that was In the Heights. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? See what you think about it. Let us know
I
what
have
you
a
think about it.
question.
You got
Doda, did you have a favorite scene?
Oh, favorite scene.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite scene is the spoiler. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, listen, all right. We at the end, y'all. So if you ain't seen it yet, stop
Basically,
here.
I'll put a time in. Skip to that
Okay.
point if you haven't seen the movie.
Okay, so
Okay.
now you
So,
go ahead, go ahead.
my favorite part was when when he found the money
Gotcha.
because Abuela won the lottery and then he like found it, and it was like that whole time. It was like she knew she was gonna go, so she just left it there for him to find. I thought that was just my favorite scene.
Because literally, like after a certain, I was like, who got the ticket? Who got the money? Like I just, that's what I wanted to know. But my favorite scene was the beauty salon scene. Yeah, it gave you traditional beauty salon banter, and I really loved it. Like the wigs turning on the wall. Like I just thought that was really, really cute. I like that. What about you, Monty?
You're right. Actually, that was probably one of my favorites. I forgot about that scene too.
Yeah.
I love that song. Like when she comes home and they're like, "Oh, girl, tell me something."
Yeah.
Like, no,
We don't know. Tell us.
I love that. That's yeah. That might be that's close. I love the scene too where she tells her dad she's not going. Remember at the dinner table, he's like, "No, I already paid for her," and she was acting like she's like, "No." He's like, "What? My money ain't my sacrifice." She's like, "No."
Right.
He's like, "This, I'm doing this for you." She's like, "No, you're doing this for you." I love that in movies when somebody always flip it on a person and be like, "No, it ain't. It's not about me. It's about you." I love that. That was one of my favorite.
And did you hear she tapped in on some discrimination of her own? Going to school.
Sure did. Because that's good. That's true. I forgot about that too. Where she got searched back. She didn't like school and she was kind of being vague about it. But then she basically told him, like, "Yeah, they did me a stop and frisk up in here."
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying. They didn't want to. Everybody was so proud of her for going to college. She made it out. She went to college, but she wanted to be at home again in that tight knit community because that's where she was comfortable. She didn't fit in at school, and she faced some discrimination of her own. She's like, "Listen, ain't all that. It's not what y'all think. I want to come home." Yeah.
She was like, "Y'all so excited to get out of here, but it ain't what you think sometimes out here in these streets too." So yeah, well done. Well, that was well done as well. So no, listen, guys, there's some good parts of this. Again, if you love musicals, I don't see why you wouldn't love this one as well. If you're not this big on musicals, then you might have to watch Hamilton first. Here you go, because Hamilton was really impressive, and after all that hype, I was very impressed. But anyway, okay, so we appreciate it, y'all. That was In the Heights. Check it out. Like, please support me and Tiff. Go to an AMC theater.
That's right.
Doda, we thank you for coming on your debut. It was very, very good, very, very poised again. I don't know why I was thinking about it. I was like, somebody else has seen this, and I couldn't even remember it. And I thought about her 5 minutes. I'm glad you came on since other guests had a medical emergency.
I know.
It's not funny. He's all right. But check us out, of course, our Favorite Scenes podcast. To find us on the Mighty Sharp Network. Guys, any closing statements? Anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, you good?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on with this, Doda.
Shout out to our Latin brothers of all shades and colors. We appreciate you. See, man.
What you got?
Because here's the thing, too. What is Latin? No, I don't want to say Latin people, but I've seen this skin bleaching thing is big in like South America, and now it's making sense.
What's his name? Sosa.
Sammy Sosa, the baseball player. He was dark skinned, baseball, and then he came looking, and that's like a big thing. And even like with island people too, be doing that. Where I've seen, like the Jamaicans and all that, and they're just bleaching.
Africa too. It's huge in Africa. It's huge.
That might be tied to this.
Africa, yes.
We might have to have a whole different.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
I just thought about that. I put two and two together. Like, yeah, they do be doing that stuff. That's crazy. Listen, trust me, okay? I've had to deal with that too, y'all. Why you had to deal with it? Because I'm not light skinned or dark skinned. Somebody asked me like, "What are you? What is with y'all brown skinned folk? Like, pick a side. Y'all gotta." I don't know. I'm just here. We in the middle. We friends with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Light skinned crew, dark skinned crew, whatever. Yes. Oh. I'll just anyway. So
butterscotches.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Butterscotch crew. Y'all know who he is. But okay, guys, thanks for coming on. We'll be back next week with some more great shows. All right. Be blessed. Stay sharp.